On the streets of Cairo, young and old, Muslim Brotherhood, anti-coup, wealthy and not so wealthy, protesting against the government. The original plan, to march to Tahrir Square, abandoned to stop further violence. Even Rabaa Square, where hundreds were killed 2 months ago, was a no-go area. Egypt has been in crisis for the past 100 days, after hundreds of thousands demonstrated against the elected president's rule of law. His former defence minister was ready to capitalise on the growing unrest.
I ask that next Friday all honest and trustworthy Egyptians must come out. But why come out? They come out to give me the mandate and order that I confront violence and potential terrorism.
On July the 3rd, the military removed Morsi from office, provoking the Muslim Brotherhood to take to the streets as its leaders were rounded up. But what happened next divided the country further. A crackdown on Brotherhood sit-ins killed over 1,000 in violence that horrified Egyptians.
When he began to kill people and began in this coup, we are all unified against this because there is no justice. We are talking about justice.
On October the 6th, the anniversary of the 1973 war with Israel, this division was clear to see. In Tahrir Square, supporters of the new government out on the streets, protests against the coup. Another 57 are killed.
The President was also clear and has been clear that we are not able to continue with business as usual. And as you know, we have already announced that we are not proceeding with the delivery of certain military systems. Following on the results of the review directed by President Obama, we will announce the future of our assistance relationship with Egypt once we have made the appropriate diplomatic and congressional notifications.
US President Barack Obama had questioned Morsi's democratic principles, but his successors were doing no better. There was little interest in any American pressure on Friday, but many calls for justice for those killed in the protests.
We are not listening to the Americans cutting aid. What matters to us, and the important thing, is the opinion of the Egyptian people.
Morsi will go on trial for those killed outside the presidential palace. But what about those who were killed in Rabaa? We should start looking for those killers.
The anti-coup alliance is desperate to keep these protests going, but the security forces are trying to strangle that momentum, cutting off their routes, stopping them going into the various squares around Cairo. And they're also facing the majority of Egyptian people that are too scared or just not interested in joining their protests.
Across town, life goes on. The silent majority might not approve of those in power, but to them, the time has passed for further unrest. Now they just want to get the country back on its feet. Sue Turton, Al Jazeera, Cairo.